Hey, this is Nelson. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be going over the KBO Breeze. We're going to do a specifications look on the bike. A few days ago I did an unboxing and assembly of this bike. But today we're going to do a specs and we're going to compare it to a bike that I had called the Himiway Cruiser. So without further ado, let's look at what KBO on their website, what they have to offer. Okay, so here we are on the KBO website. What I want to do is quickly just kind of give you an idea of what bikes they have in their lineup. If you go to either their e-bikes available, they have the electric bike Breeze, they have the electric bike Breeze Step Through, and the electric bike Hurricane. This is more of a street bike. It's only $1,099. You have this Breeze, which I have the orange one. They have two colors, black and orange. And then they got the step through. So let's go ahead and look at this, the black one. As you can see, it's $1,399. If you actually look in the description below, I will put a link to get $50 off, so you can actually save some money there. But it looks like they also have their own promo going on, where you buy two bikes, you get $150 off, which is pretty substantial considering these bikes are already probably the cheapest for all the the amenities that you get, all the parts and but the performance, you're actually already getting a pretty good deal. So get an extra $150 off is even better. So here's the orange one that I have. The black, as you can see, it's pretty much all stealth black, all blacked out. And it's orange and black, kind of reminds me of the Harley Davidson colors. Love it. Now I also looked at the step through. Now look carefully at the step through. I had being a Himiway owner, I I saw the step through that they have, which they have a bar that is just above the battery, and they have a battery which also extends out above the frame. Here the battery is integrated into the frame, and the step through is actually much lower, much easier to get into this. In fact, this kind of reminds me of a bigger Himiway Escape. I mean, if the frame was all black, which you could probably paint it any color you want. But if you're looking for the all black look, I mean, it shouldn't be that difficult to take everything off and paint the frame black, and then you pretty much have a supersized Escape, but just by KBO. But I do love that integrated battery and that nice step through with no other bar or anything else in the way. So that's pretty cool. So let's go back out to the garage to check out the Himiway Breeze that I have. Okay, so with the KBO Breeze, like I said, I have the orange version. There is a black version, it's all black, like more black than the Himiway. And the reason why I say Himiway is because being a Himiway owner, this is the best thing to compare it to. In fact, there's another reason why I'm comparing this to the Himiway, because it has many of the same parts that the Himiway does. And so what I mean is, if you're a Himiway owner, right away you'll notice exactly on the handlebars here what I'm talking about. From the grip, throttle, shifter, even the brakes with the little rubber here on this. Same thing, even down to the bell. Obviously the LCD display is in the center on the Himiway, and it's on the handlebar by the left hand on the side, which may or may not be a good thing. I haven't quite decided yet. It's one thing having buttons to press on the Himiway and then looking at the screen, because you got two different things to look at. Here you're looking at one thing at one time. You're not distracted by trying to observe what button you're pressing and then also looking at the screen. And then also, if you look at the brakes, I'm sorry, the altos for the shifting. And then it also has the battery, which is Samsung made as well, on the Himiway and also on the KBO. So a few things are very similar to the Himiway, which is why I'm bringing up the Himiway. In my other video, I mentioned the orange paint. Now, I said this wasn't like your normal orange color. When you look at it, it looks orange, but as you get closer, I want to say it's something like those white pearl, kind of like Escalades that you might see. This is like an orange pearl because as you can see, you got the little flakes in there. Looks like they're below a like a coating, and it adds a really cool effect when you're up close. It's hard to see from a distance or on camera, but in person, it really stands out. Makes this bike even more unique than just your typical orange bicycle. Okay, so let's go over the motor, okay? This is a 750 watt peak hub brushless motor with 500 watts sustained, okay? So it goes up and down depending on how you're using it. Unlike the Himiway, the Himiway is a continuous 750 watts hub motor. They both have 80 Newton meters. You might see that as like 80 Nm. Every now and then you might see the Nm. That's what that stands for, Newton meters of torque. So in the Himiway, you're getting 750 continuous, which is great. I mean, because that means you're getting the power consistently all across the board, doesn't change. In this case, you have up your 750 all the way down to 500. You got 750 when you need it, and it sustains at 500. And that's good and bad because I would love to have the power of the 750 continuously. But at the same time, I like the fact that this will go down to 500 because it saves your battery. You're not pushing as much. If you don't need it to go 750, then why do you need it at 750? Do you see what I'm saying? You have it down to 500, conserve your battery, go a longer distance. So that's one thing I like, but also I do also appreciate having the power on the Himiway as well. So here is the battery. It is, as you can see, halfway embedded into the frame, unlike Himiway. Himiway has it above the frame, which takes up more space in between, in the middle of the frame, which means less area to mount things. Okay, so this is a 48 volt, 16 amp lithium Samsung battery. Okay, the good thing about this battery though, it comes with a 3.0 charger. Okay, so the charger for this is going to be a lot faster because with the Himiway, which is a 48 volt, 17.5 amp, same thing, also a Samsung battery, but it's only a 2.0 charger. So it would take longer to charge the Himiway, maybe 2 or 3 hours longer. While here you're getting the newer 3.0. So that is actually a good thing, especially if you want to, charge up and then get going again. Because a lot of commuters, might ride into town. They might find an outlet. If you take a charger with you in your bag, you plug it up, into the wall, at a retail store or someplace. You want to plug in and then get charged and get going. You don't want to sit there for an extra 2 or 3 hours. And like I said, it does have the same 7-speed shifter Shimano as the Himiway does as well. It's the same. Not one difference. Moving on to the tires, as you know, the Himiway comes with fat tires, a 26.5, I believe, or 26.4, 26.5 fat tire. These are 27.5 Panasonic wide tires. So you're going to get extra width. You're not going to get the fat tire look or anything. I mean, you could probably buy something, for like mountain biking, and maybe to take to get more grip out in the woods or dirt or whatever. You can always buy those tires, but they do come with Panasonic tires, extra, wide tires, and they are puncture resistant, so that's a good thing as well. And they do have also a little bit of the reflective strip around the wheel. I believe Himiway stopped doing that. Himiway has changed their tires, probably a few different times. And I'm sure they do that as as they grow, they listen to feedback, they will, upgrade the tires as they see fit. But just so you know, right now, as of this video, KBO is making the tires are being shipped with the reflective circle in the tires. Now, you can always get something like whatchamacallit, the Tannis tire inserts. Now, what I realized with the Himiway, they're sold out everywhere as far as Tannis inserts, which actually protect your tires a lot more and actually give you a much smoother ride, believe it or not. Now this already has a pretty smooth ride because you don't have the really big, thick mountain bike tires, with all the stubs everywhere. But here's the thing: with a 27.5, your Tannis inserts are going to be more readily available as compared to the Himiway Tannis inserts, because they're sold out everywhere. It's hard to find, and if they're constantly on back order. So here you're going to be able to find the Tannis inserts for these tires a lot easier, being that they're 27.5 versus the 26 something on the Himiway. Now, when it comes to brakes, actually Hemi and KBO share the same brakes, the Textro 180 millimeter disc brakes. I'm actually going to be changing these brakes into hydraulic, not the full set, not the full line and everything, but just the caliper hydraulic itself. I'm going to be changing those in a later video, so be sure to subscribe. That way you get alerted when new videos are uploaded. But yeah, again, same brakes. So some of these things are popping up. They're very similar to the Himiway, and they might even be similar to some other bikes, like the Rad Rover. I don't have a Rad. Wish I did to compare everything, do a review on it. So if anyone out there in Illinois, if you're out in Illinois, you have a Rad bike, you're close to Chicago or whatever, let me know. Come out here. Let's take it for a drive. Let's compare. Let me look at some of the specs on the Rad Rover, because I would love to also get this bike uploaded, the Rad Rover, and compare all these bikes. But right now, I know Rad Rover, Himiway are up in price. The KBO is down by being $13.99 right now. This is where Himiway used to be $13.99. In fact, when I bought my Himiway, it was $13.99. Now they've added hundreds of dollars more to it, possibly by because of popular demand, or maybe because they've upgraded some of their parts over the last year or so. I have no idea. But right now, this bike, for the value, for everything, this is quite possibly the best value bike out there at the moment that I could find. Of course, if you know the Himiway, it comes with a backlit display, just like the KBO. It's even branded on the plastic screen right there. The Himiway has a charging port underneath the LCD screen, which is in the middle of their bike and their handlebars. Now we do have a charging port here too, but it is right here on the battery, USB charging port, right there. So you can charge your phone while you're riding, so you can keep the music playing, keep the music going. So that's always a plus. KBO does give you a headlight and also a reflector, and you also get a tail light that stays on when the bike is on, and when you hit the brakes, it does also go off to give warning that you're braking. So the KBO Breeze comes out at a total weight of 62 pounds. I believe the Himiway is around 72, so it's a 10-pound difference, which 10 pounds can make a big deal, especially in the length of driving or riding it. It could be a difference of who knows how many miles, but 10 pounds is definitely a big difference, even when loading it into a vehicle or on a rack, or moving around up some stairs. Okay, so let's look at the total length of the KBO. That's basically from the tire to the tire. Usually, believe it's mid tire to mid. and that is about 75 inches. Now on the Himiway, it's about 72. The handlebar height, as far as the height, we're talking 46 and a half, which is about the same as the Himiway. And the wheelbase is 45 inches, same as the Himiway. We have the minimum seat height. So the height minimum that it would go, of course, it's not what you see right now. You could bring it a little lower, but the minimum height. Now this is important for people who are, vertically challenged. The lower the seat, the easier it is to get on if you need that setting for the lower seat. But the minimum seat height on the KBO is 28 inches. On the Himiway, the lowest you can go with the seat is 32. So, we have a difference of 4 inches. And 4 inches is a huge deal, especially in seam when you're looking to get on the bike, if you have your seat to the lowest. But that's not all. You also have the maximum seat height. The maximum seat height on here, so the highest you can go with the seat is 36.5. Of course, you can always get a different post if that's what, if you needed to. But the max height on the Himiway is 40.5. And then you want to do the standover height as well, because you're not just the seat, because you also, which is right here in the center right here. What's the stand height? So if you jumped off your bike and you have the feet flat on the ground, what is the height? The standover height on the KBO is 31 inches. Okay. And it is 28.5 on the Himiway. And maybe that number might be different. I'll have to get back to you on that. I think I may have mixed that up. I'm not quite sure. There's too many numbers here to really to remember. Next, we have the wheel diameter. On the Himiway is 28 inches, on the Himiway it's 27.5, and on the KBO it is 27. 28 on the KBO, 27.5 on the Himiway. The head tube length, 6 inches. You have the handlebar length, which is how much area you have to grip, on both hands. On the KBO, it's 26, and on the Himiway, it's 27. So you have an extra inch length on the handlebars on the Himiway. And on handlebars, when it comes to handlebars, every little real estate helps for mounting on accessories. So that's good also on the Himiway. And I like to note a couple other things on this bike here. If you look at the controller, okay, it is in the back, this is probably the ideal spot, if not embedded with the battery somewhere. On a Himiway has it right in front, right here. And as you know, Himiway also has fenders, much like the KBO. The Himiway likes to go. It could go pretty much anywhere, on gravel, in the woods, and hiking trails. You get a lot of debris, a lot of rocks, a lot of pebbles, water that gets pushed up through the tire and into this area right here, which is where they have their controller. Probably not the best spot to put it. So I was really, really glad to see that KBO put their controller back here, which would keep it protected, because this is literally the brains of your bike, and seeing that the tires, when it goes forward, it goes this way, you're not going to get anything kicking up into here. So this controller is a lot more safe than where Himiway puts their controller. I just mentioned fenders earlier. Yes, both bikes, the Himiway and KBO, they will give you fenders. They'll give you a multi-tool. But with these fenders, it's different. These fenders are aluminum, metal. With the Himiway, they're plastic. Now, I have mixed feelings with this. I couldn't really tell you which is better. I could tell you, when you're dealing with metal fenders, these are designed to get banged up, to get water and everything on them. I would imagine if there's not a very good paint job to protect them, that these could get rusted out. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure KBO has been out long enough to really even see these things get rusted out. But I could see that as being a possible situation for where you have the plastic fenders from Himiway. You may not have to worry about that. But I could see plastic fenders breaking too, being brittle in the cold extremes, and possibly breaking and snapping off, where you're going to have more durability. But like I said, you might have rust issues down the road. I just don't know enough about it just yet. Himiway and KBO, haven't been out that long to really test that theory. But like I said, it's just a theory. But I love the fenders, how they look. Although here on my bike, I noticed when I took it out of the box that the fender color here was a bit off. It didn't really match the rest of the bike. And like I said, I don't think that was intentional, because this one matches the bike just fine. This is most likely a factory situation. I don't think they paint everything all at the same time. I think they just have parts that they add, that were painted and finished elsewhere, and they just add it to the bike later. But also I noticed something else in the back real quick. I'll show you that. Now, I didn't notice this right out of the box. I didn't notice it until after we put it together, and I looked at it closely. But if you can see right down here, there's a different paint scheme, or something like somebody tried to fix this. Like somebody tried to paint over it. And also it looks like it was dinged up on the bottom. I can't really focus on it, but yeah, it's definitely not supposed to be like that. I'm a little upset that they sent this Defect Defender to me. Also, it's hard to see, but there's a little dent right there too. There's a little dent. This all came out of the box this way. I did not touch it in any way. I haven't even really taken it out of the driveway. But I'm probably going to have to email someone about that. So we will see just how good the KBO customer service is as compared to Himiway. So that'll be another review on a different day. Okay, so another thing I wanted to go over was the rear rack. Okay, now, as I said, the fenders come with the bike. The rear racks come with the bike. It seems as if a lot of these popular e-bikes are now coming with these accessories standard to kind of entice you to get their bike, and which is great because you don't have to buy those accessories. I know some people don't ride with the front fender. They usually keep the rear fender on. But when you look at this rear rack, you can see the construction on the KBO rear rack. Really strong, durable. Just by looking at how everything's put together. This rack, unlike the Himiway is nice too. I like the wood they put on the back. I know some people might change it out, paint different color on the Himiway. But this is definitely looking a lot stronger. I would trust this if I was going to attach like a child seat on the back to take the child for a cruise, or put something else back there. I would trust this over the Himiway rear rack probably any day. This just looks like it's going to hold maybe even twice the weight a Himiway could. I don't have any specs on that, of course. I don't know if Himiway has any specs on that, but I didn't see what this rear rack would hold. But just by looking at the construction and where everything's connected at, you can see that this is actually a lot more durable. Just by looking at it. You just know sometimes, if you're, I'm not saying you have to be an engineer, but just by looking at it, you can tell this rear rack is going to hold a lot more weight than most likely the Himiway. So I find that as a plus. So here's also a closer look at the battery right here. You have a key. You have an indicator. You can see how much juice is left in your battery. Of course, when you turn this is your lever. Take this out, the battery comes out, and you can charge it individually in the house. Or you can just plug it in at the port down here, the wall charger, and keep the battery in and just charge it maybe in the garage or something like that. Now, another thing too, when I bought my Himiway, I bought an all-black Himiway. Okay, I didn't get the step through or anything like this. But I was debating whether or not to buy another all black bicycle. You know, now with the KBO, everything that's black here, like these right here, the spokes, you know, all those things actually came black with the KBO. Now I remember when I bought my Himiway, the suspension forks were chrome color. My forks were chrome, and it didn't have that all black stealth look that I'd wanted. Now here, you know, I have that look. You know, if I had ordered a black version, this would still be black. The spokes would still be black. It'd be more black than the Himiway that I bought a year ago. I believe Himiway is changing that, or changed that, where they have added black spokes and black forks, suspension forks, tubes. So that's good. But you know, keep that in mind if you're looking at ads with, you know, older bikes, that the old Hemiways may not be all black completely. So this is the final wrap up of the KBO. I'm gonna do a few more images, close-ups. This is a branded seat with the handle to lift your bike up. Does have a quick release for the seat post. I don't really like these much. I probably will swap it out. Himiway has the same thing. I'll probably swap it out for something that, you know, you keep stationary. Because I really don't want anyone to be able just to, you know, quick release this and take my seat. So I don't like that. But plus I don't want it, you know, anything happening while I'm riding. But I have a table full of accessories to put on this bike and plans to take it out. It's still a little chilly here in Illinois, but the sun finally came out today, but it's only like 40 something, high 40s. Still a little chilly with the wind. I'll be driving it out, or riding it out on the trails, the bike trail, hopefully soon here. But I will be putting accessories on this bike. So everything you see right now is stock. This is the stock KBO. And if it was black, wherever you see orange, it would be black. And everything else that's black here would remain black. So nothing would change. So the next video I make, I'll probably be making a video with accessories on there. I think you're gonna like some of the little things that I picked up for the bike. And some of the things I picked up was specifically because it was an orange bicycle, so that accessory would complement this colored bike. So if you're looking to pick up the orange bicycle yourself, the orange KBO, be sure to subscribe, be alerted of my future videos. So that way, if you're interested in the same accessories, you can look in my description, because I will put links to everything that I have purchased to put on here. So if you think it's cool, you also can purchase it as well. Anyway, this is Nelson. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in a future video. Thank you.